standing in the lights of the holidays. Think that I can say with some certainty it's been the wildest year that I've ever seen. Somehow seems I survived. My mind's been racing here and there. Sometimes I only stand and stare, overwhelmed and hope you understand. When solid ground turns into dust and I cannot tell who I can trust, that's when you come take my hand.
Hi friends, welcome to another Clean With Us.
Today we're going to get rid of 40% of our toys.
I mean, technically we didn't do the math, but in a minute you're going to see how much stuff we got rid of, and it just seems like a lot, and 40% seems like a good number.
We're going to be discussing all things declutter, but let's take a moment to introduce ourselves.
I'm Lana.
I'm Laura.
And we're two identical twins who love to clean and tidy.
And today we're getting rid of some stuff.
The holidays are around the corner, and one thing we do every single year is go to the playroom and start our decluttering process. Today's episode is actually inspired by a book that I read over the weekend. It's called Decluttering at the Speed of Light by Dana K. White. And I'm not going to lie, her audiobook was about 6 hours long, and I spent about 6 hours decluttering my house this weekend. It was so thrilling, actually.
I was along for the ride. None of these toys are mine, although I did buy a lot of them for my nieces, so I'm a little bit to blame. But it's kind of inspiring me, too, to take on little projects at my house. So even though we're doing a toy declutter, this applies to every room and everything in your house.
For me, the biggest takeaway is stuff that Laura and I have been talking about on our channel for a year. We've been talking about containing the chaos and basically setting limits or boundaries to the stuff you have. And I didn't maybe use the exact words that this author did, but basically she talks about using containers as limits. And it's not always a container like a box or a tote. A shelf is a container. A bookcase is a container. A room is a container, and your house is a container. And you could only hold as much stuff as the house will allow with function. And so this playroom will oftentimes become just so messy or chaotic because although we have all of these containers, these gray totes that you see, a lot of them are filled to the brim, and it becomes too chaotic for my kids to be able to clean. And so what we are going to do is we are going to look at every single one of these baskets, every single container in this room, and we are going to minimize and reduce by 40%.
Right now, we're doing a little tidy of the room, and the one thing that I really regret is not getting a before shot of the insides of the totes. At the end, you're going to see how clear and clean they are, but for some reason, we just forgot at the beginning. But just imagine that every single one of those gray inserts that are going into the cube storage are completely filled to the brim.
I've actually been reading a lot of decluttering books. My goal is to get to 30 books this year, and I only have 4 more to go. So if you have any other amazing decluttering books or cleaning books, put it in the comments below.
You might be wondering, where are the kids? How come they're not helping? Do they ever help clean the playroom? First off, yes, we just don't film them. Second off, we decided to start this cleaning and decluttering process without them, which is honestly what we would recommend for the future. Later on, we do get the kids involved. You'll see their little hands sorting and organizing, but we decided to start making some of the decisions without them, which might be a little controversial.
I would say that Laura and I are both very observant of what the girls play with, and oftentimes Laura is the one that's playing with them during their play dates and things, and so she knows what is actually getting used in the room. And along those lines, even though my girls have grown a lot in the decluttering process, in fact, they're actually really good at it, sometimes in order to get a lot of headway, we just got to take the lead, and so this time we did. I also believe that we take a lot of time to look at age-appropriate toys and stages of development. And, I have a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, and they play with different toys. And so I think that the playroom kind of gives them an opportunity to reach tons of different ranges and imaginative play and building play. So I think we do a good job with making sure that is balanced in the room. Also, if you were looking for a great gift to get your kids, these nuggets are a game changer. We got ours at Sam's Club, but of course you can buy them online. But my kids love them. I would say this is probably the thing they play with the most.
Also, again, for those of you who don't have kids and are confused on what a nugget is, those are those pink and yellow furniture pieces that are over on the right. You can change the shape and build castles and stuff. But when she told me she got the kids nuggets for one of the birthdays, I was like, oh, okay, I guess they like chicken nuggets.
Along the lines of knowing my kids, I'm also a book expert. I know exactly what my kids need, what they read, and I don't feel bad getting rid of books because my children have an amazing selection of reading. I'm a reading teacher and I buy books all the time. We go to the library all the time. So I'm not really worried about saying goodbye. Some other kids are going to love the books that I got rid of.
At the end of the video, we're going to talk about some things that you can do with the toys and items that you no longer want. So, of course, you can donate that to a Salvation Army, a Goodwill, any one of those places. We'll have a list here. But there's also some more local options you can do. Lana reached out to her local kindergarten and preschool and just asked them, hey, do you want any of these books or any of these small toys? And she got a huge response from those people.
I'm not going to lie, saying goodbye to toys is a lot harder for me than lots of things. And I'm like the anti-sentimental person. Like I can get rid of almost every piece of clothing and I wouldn't even think twice about it. But saying goodbye to those horses was really hard for me.
Butterscotch and Nutella, we love you.
But ultimately, I had to go through a big thinking process. I had to say, when was the last time my girls played with them? In fact, they haven't played anything horses in many, many years. And there's tons of kids who would love to have them. And so I ended up giving them to like my local friends and family to see who wanted them. And people asked for them immediately.
And I think people, maybe even parents, assume that the kids are going to be the ones that say, I want this, I want to keep this, I want this forever. But often it's the parents that are holding on because there's a lot of memories with those things. And, you know, you have little baby board books that are like, oh, this was their first book, or they used to love playing with Barbies. And it's really hard to believe, but our kids grow up and we have to be aware of that.
So board games are both something I love and something that drives me nuts. When the kids want to play a board game after a long day, it really is hard on me. But I know the value of family game night. And so right now we are making it a goal to play every single one of these games before Christmas. That way we can see which ones we love and which ones we hate. We got rid of about 3 games in the pile that I knew we just weren't going to play. Tonight we actually played Yahtzee and my girls are really good at math and I was struggling, but they did so well.
I hate Yahtzee. I hate games with simple math, and I really hate Uno because I get confused on what direction we're going all the time.
If you have not played Uno Flip with your kids, I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. It is one of our favorite games to play.
This was actually really hard for me to do as the aunt. I love playing with food, fake food. I love doing chef and restaurants. So it was tough to get rid of this stuff. The cool thing that Lana came up with is that we ended up separating the food, getting rid of some of the damaged stuff, but we actually made a baker kit. So we had all the sweets in one container, the fake flour and sugar, and we ended up putting that together. So when the girls go into the closet, they'll see a scientist kit, a veterinarian kit, and a baker, which I think is really cool.
If you are in a place to ask for gifts for your little ones from family members, I would highly recommend Melissa and Doug toys. They are wooden or these felt ones, and they are sturdy and they last forever. I would definitely avoid the cheap plastic food. I find that it bends, dents, and breaks pretty easily. So we got rid of all of our plastic and went with wood and felt, and it's been really, really nice. This is the area that we decluttered the most volume. Oh, we were just dressing up the dog. It was so cute. She looks like Rapunzel. But basically, my littlest loves dress up. It's probably the thing she plays with most. It also takes up the most room. So we categorized everything from accessories to purses to dresses to things that go along like shoes and so forth. And we really downsized. We picked her favorite dresses, her favorite accessories, and honestly, the area looks so much cleaner, and she can actually pull out the materials that she wants to play with so much better.
We've tried this sorting system before where we had all the dresses in one of the totes and then the shoes in another and accessories, like we said, but it just wasn't manageable because it was filled to the brim. So when you ask kids to clean up, they don't know where things go. So having the totes be less than half full each, even if they do mix up the containers and put things in the wrong place, there's not a container that's going to be overflowing anymore.
Another tip that I would recommend is using black garbage bags when you are decluttering. This way the kids can't see what's in it and it makes a big difference. I've actually had the black bags that we decluttered in the dining room for 2 days now, and the girls have not even looked in them at all.
We're talking about hiding these things from the kids, but also from you, because you might look over, at a clear bag or an open tote and say, you know what, I changed my mind, and you made the right choice to let go originally. So you can stick with that, and it's not going to hurt you. If anything, it's going to help you.
So I bought this beautiful tall basket and didn't really know what to put in it. So of course I put the bow and arrow, but then I realized that, my girls have a couple of instruments. My oldest likes to play the piano and we have a guitar, but I was thinking about getting the girls some musical instruments for like older kids. So not just those like Melissa and Doug, little tambourine and whatever. So if you have any good ideas on what instruments the girls could have in the playroom that they can like basically create a band with, that would be awesome.
Yeah, we asked our brothers for some advice on this, and it was awesome because they had harmonica and maracas, and then my younger brother goes, get him a harp. He obviously did not understand the assignment.
A couple of months ago, we did a huge playroom makeover that included building this entire desk shelving unit. Check out our playroom makeover video if you want to see how this looks. We love this station. And when I'm thinking about like future use for my girls, arts and crafts aren't going anywhere. The type of craft might change, but they're still going to need space and storage for this. And so this whole area, we went jar by jar, drawer by drawer, and we really made sure to downsize crafts they don't play with and organize the things that they do.
And because we had so many creative crafting materials, especially crayons and color pencils, we donated a lot of those as well.
Because no one needs 106 colored pencils. It's just not going to happen, especially at this age when they're still in the beginning of the artistic stage. Something we got rid of was the spinning rotation storage device. It just did not work for the girls. And honestly, they would just throw things in there. So what we did is we actually used the top drawers on both girls' sides and put the coloring materials in there. And then we put the back stock in the jars up above. They're mostly decoration, but when pens and markers run out of ink, we can open the jar. The category of Barbie was also very difficult. This would be the toy that Laura and I grew up with. We always played Barbies. In fact, honestly, when I think back to our childhood, I don't remember a lot of other toys other than fake food. But our Barbies meant a lot to us. And a couple summers ago, we went to a garage sale and they were selling vintage Barbie accessories. So envision the tiniest little can of SpaghettiOs, a bottle of pop or 2 bottles of pop, a china set. I mean, seriously, it was such an amazing buy. And at the time, Laura and I were giddy. We absolutely loved it. Now, if you look at this pile in the middle of the floor, you can see how this can cause so much overstimulation.
It was really hard to let this stuff go because I love tiny little miniature things. So when I saw a little egg carton with little actual Barbie size eggs, I just about melted. But not only is it, hard to maintain, but the truth is the girls aren't playing Barbies that hard, if that makes sense. They aren't going into those little details. They like to play with the dolls enough, but for them, they actually like to just take them into the bathtub. And, Barbies aren't their favorite. They've really enjoyed either the LOL dolls, the little miniature ones, or American Girl dolls they've also been enjoying.
After we decluttered and cleaned up the craft station, we went back to the totes. Basically, we jumped back and forth. And this time we were looking at the American Girl doll, and that brought a lot of stress. Everything is bringing stress. But this was the area that I think we downsized the most. All 4 totes on the bottom were absolutely filled. There was no room. And then we went back through and eliminated, again, almost half of every single one of the gray totes. The girls, this is where they helped in the process. But this is where they said, hey, do you like this? Do you like this? What do you want? And they did a very good job.
It felt like the sorting and decluttering and organizing was going to go on forever, but surprisingly, we're actually near the end of our video.
After going through the decluttering, we realized there were a couple of things we did need still. For example, kids' scissors. We only had 2 pairs, and believe it or not, we needed 1,000 pairs, it felt like. We also put construction paper. The girls loved to draw, and we were completely out. So we were able to make a list of things and ideas for Christmas, and honestly, just restocking things that were on the to-buy list.
Kids are so interesting. The thing that they're most excited about is we're going to get an electric pencil sharpener. And I don't know why that was such a huge hit, but you would have thought, like, if they opened that on Christmas morning, it would have been like an Xbox. They were just so stoked.
We talked a little bit about the journey we went on with this playroom, getting the girls partially involved and all the feelings that came with it. Do you find that it's more difficult to declutter your own things or your children's things? Put it in the comments below.
And if you don't have kids, is it hard to declutter, your partner's things or your cat's things? Just, again, leave a comment below.
Thank you for watching.
If you liked this video and are interested in more decluttering videos, make sure to like and subscribe.
Check out all of our TikToks. We clean on the weekends. Laura cleans in the week. Check them out. We post once or twice a day.
Cleaning playlist is full of different cleaning, organizing, decluttering videos, and honestly, almost every single clean we do on there is free and for other people in our community. Please make sure to check it out. We help new moms, we help large families with a bunch of kids, and people that have maybe physical challenges or, mental challenges, and we're there for them to help them kind of sort out the chaos of their life.
We are behind in lots of our cleans. This is kind of our busy season in our jobs, so forgive us for not posting last couple weeks. We're going to try to do a better job of being on it.
Shout out to our subscribers. We are 10 away from 1,800, and that is because of you guys. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. It helps us share our message because that's what our goal is, to get out there and let people know any tips or tricks that we know to help clean and organize and, again, declutter.
Also, if you know anyone who can benefit from these videos, please share our mission, share our channel with them. We are looking forward to this holiday season. There's lots to do, but we want to know, what should we clean next?